How was the idea for this project developed in the first place?
There came the idea from Sebastian Shtibert. He was the one that decided that he must have the evening of the two operas, and he has only Brundibar. And he looks for something a little different, but also not so much different morally. Something that the children do for the parents, and to see the whole world in nice eyes reflected by the innocence of the children and goodwill. And he wanted Tsippi Fleischer. He looked for me and he found me through Furore Verlag. That is a verlag that I work with that are in Kassel. And they have quite a few of my scores, so he was quite intensively working with them to find my name. Then he asked me to write the opera, and I succeeded, I suppose, to do something according to his will. I needed a story from the Middle East because I'm from there and I like to be symbolizing a little bit the atmosphere and what is going there culturally. It's very rich. It's a rich region from the cultural point of view. And I suppose Sebastian wanted to show this and not all the Krieg and not all the big things that are going all the time negatively about the region. So I asked Yael Medini, she is a writer and dramaturg from Israel, and she invented the story. And then after the story was finished and I liked it very much, we did an edition and translation immediately into German. And I composed it as a German opera. I can tell the story shortly, but maybe you know it already.
I know a little bit about it, yeah. But if you could sum it up, it would be great, yes.
It is all happening in the Wüste, in the time of the Bible. Und die israelitische Kinder gehen in der Wüste nach Kanaan, Land von den Vätern. Because it's all the time in my libretto, so I know quite a lot of that in German. And there are two children from Hebraitisch, Noah and Elon, and they suchen für Ameisen und Steine und Käfer, and they are lost all the time, and the parents are very, very besorgt. One day they really disappear, and there was no water in the camp. And these two children decided this time that they are going to look for water. And sometime before that, there is the Vogelchen scene. They come to the father and say, "We have found a Vogelchen." And father says, "No, Fantasiegebilde," because the child says, "But maybe it's a sign for water, Wasser." Vielleicht Wasser, es gibt Wasser, and it's Fantasiegebilde. The father says again. And we have seen also Grünflecke there. So, okay, they go and they find, and they are ungemächtige. They are very, very, very müde in the Wüste. And zwei Beduinen Kinder kommen dort, Ali und Laila. Give them the Wasser to drink it, and they become alive. And they go, all of them, to the Oasis in the middle of the desert. And later on, they are together back to the camp of the Israelitische. And you can see orientalische Landschaft with some really very nice Arabic dances that they learn from the tube, but they also learn really very nice to do it. And I wrote for them especially a little song, poem in Arabic. Becomes very natural and very authentic. It was very exciting, just the meeting of the four children in the desert. That is a very exciting moment. So they come zurück in Zelt of the Israelitische, and they, Wunderwasser, the father says. And then they want even these two children to become their children. They ask them, "Could you be our Sohn und Tochter jetzt?" Aber Laila says, "No, we have to stay in the desert. That is our mission." So at last there is the Obhut. They think about the mission, how they have to stay in the desert to give all the durstigen people zu trinken. And at last, Hebräische they sing, "We shall never forget you and what you did good for us," but they have to depart, and that is their Abschied, the finale at the end, which stand a little sad, but also with hopes. Shalom, Salam, wie schwer, so schwer der Abschied zu nehmen. aber die Hoffnung bleibt, jeder einer in seiner Platz kann sein. That is the end.
Okay.
And also it's sad but optimistic also.
Have you been actively involved in bringing the message of, and the music closer to the children?
Yes, we started already to meet here in September. I had already problem then. It started the whole process, and we were a lot together then. And they started only to know then the opera, so it was even more important then to speak with them, to explain to them. And now, of course, I'm more now with the whole, the whole ensemble, and more with the players sometimes, with the conductor. And of course, I'm all the time a lot monitoring this process. I'm with them. And they like, I suppose, that I'm with them. They like to listen to me. We shall have an opportunity now, because there's a little place that we have still to correct today, and I go upstairs to the tile of the opera that sings it from upstairs, and we shall rehearse it with me.
Okay. And how do you do it? How do you bring the message of the play, of the music to the kids?
With their eyes, in their mind, with their language, with their word, with all the illustrations that I can do, and a lot in German.
Okay. Do you feel that the children found easy access to the opera?
I suppose yes. At the beginning it was a little strange to them, but Hans-Jörg told me they like it very much. They start to be used to it, and because it's a little different to what they are used to, it's very interesting for them. And they really sing all the time. I hear them like, they are singing it like tunes that they like very much. Okay. I came today early and I was hearing all the time they singing for themselves.
Who's the opera directed at? Who is your target audience? Who would you like to listen to it?
Oh, as much as possible. Here I know we have the children, their friends, their families, adults. I suppose the more the better. It's not secular or too religious or too hoch snobbish audiences or to very simple people. Everybody, I suppose, should understand this mission. So the music, it's maybe easier. We have problems in politics, but not in the art.
How far do you feel that the opera can link two different cultures?
We have here already 3 cultures. We have the main, all the time, German is going on, and it's very typisch German. It's with all the idioms of German, Hochtige, not too difficult. And we have the Hebrew also there, and we have also some Arabic there. And each tradition is reflected in the opera. We have them all there.
What did inspire you while composing?
Well, the whole story is fantastic. To me, it is great. I know that Yael Medini knows me very well, I suppose, and she understood what is the best to do. So I like the story very much, and also the libretto itself, how it is all the time developing. Very touches, simple, at the same time realistic and surrealistic, and I liked it very much. And then I went to the Sinai desert, exactly where this all happens. It is all happening in the desert of Sinai. And I was sitting there and composing, and that was also a very big inspiration. I lived just at that atmosphere, or in some camp.
Okay. And where do you see the link between the musical piece and Israel today?
Well, I suppose that some of the tunes are very much inspired by folk Israeli tunes, and some of the Arabic is also inspired a lot or influenced by some motives that you can hear. But I composed it originally. Nothing is there that I copied or citated. It's all in the atmosphere that you really can quite easily find in our region, not only in Israel.
Okay. And what is your personal message with it?
Well, I hope that it will happen really. that what we say there at the end, that everybody will stay in his place quietly. That's what we want, not more than that. And will be happy in his place and sympathize with the other side. I don't think that we can have really big love between the two nations, but at least good coordination and cooperation and side-by-side life. I suppose it's not so difficult. And it really happens.